All right. Good morning. Good morning. Trying to get everything pulled up here. Trying to get everything pulled up here. Let's see what we got. This thing trips me out. Come on. Didn't want to go to where I needed it to go. Okay. Now let's move Tweeter over to here. All right. This account is the one we do the 5-minute play on. Is that right? 34. Yeah. Or no, that's the 15-minute breakout. Have to try to remember what is what here. Bring the WADA. Let's bring it over. The WADA said it wants to be front and center today. All right. Trying to remember what else I need to open. Did I not open that already? I thought I did. Guess I didn't. That's okay. All right. Here we go. This is... All right, so that's the one. That'll be a 5-minute play. We'll put the ES over here. Gotta have the ES up here. So I don't know, kind of disappointing CPI numbers there. I think it was maybe in PPI. I don't know, whatever it was. On the movement, wasn't really as violent as you might would think it would be. Was not as violent. So let's bring the live account over here. Stream will be a little shorter today. I do have to leave probably after the 15-minute breakout and the 5-minute gap strategy trades. Going on vacation today, so will be a little bit shorter of a stream. All right, do we have everything open? So if we see some trades we want to take, we'll take them on this account. 41. And the 5-minute or the 15-minute breakout will be taken here. Do we have a stop loss set up? Probably should change this to 30 and 40. I think Powell speaking today at some point. Let's check it. Let's check it. Got 5 minutes here before the market opens. What do we got? So at 8:30 this morning, we had CPI. 10:30 natural gas. That doesn't affect us. Crude oil. Nope, nope, nope. So it doesn't really affect us. Yeah, I guess Bostic speaks at 1. Maybe Powell doesn't speak today. I don't see that on here. I don't see that anywhere on here. If you guys are just joining us, or if you're new here and you have not yet hit that subscribe button, do me one favor. Press the subscribe button. We will be streaming even though we're on vacation, so I will be here tomorrow. We'll be for the London. I missed the London last night. I have not slept great the last few nights. I've been having problems getting to sleep. That's part of the reason why I stopped doing the London, because it kind of like messed with my sleep a little bit there. But we'll probably do the London tonight, and then or tomorrow morning. And then we'll be there for New York for sure. Again, tomorrow's stream may be a little shorter as well, just because, you know, vacation. Don't want to be taking up all my time, but we will at least participate in the 15 minutes breakdown, breakout in the 5-minute gap strategy. How's it going, Predator? I was about to say, where's Predator at? I don't see his good morning. What's going on? What's going on here? So let's see. We pushed up 48's the high overnight. Let's kind of look and see what we got. So where did we close at yesterday? 408 area, 407. So there is a gap. It's not a huge one. So I was going to put a box here, but I think we'll just put a line there. That probably will be kind of an area at open here. We could probably count on at least getting to. And then let's see kind of where that overnight high and low is after the midnight open. So there's the high up there at the pivot. And then obviously the low down here. So does it run all the way up to the highs here? Maybe. Maybe it does. Maybe it retraces the entire move. That sometimes is a thing. But here at open, I think if we get above 400, we at least clear this liquidity at the 08s. So we ran the lows and then pulled back. So would kind of make sense to me to maybe run the liquidity up there. I don't know, though. We'll see. We will likely be careful at the open. Unless we just love something, then we'll take it. But otherwise, we'll be careful there. So coming into open here, let's see what happens. Less than a minute now until the market opens. So we got the ES. Oh, yeah, we didn't read Mancini's tweet. Let's do that. Initial CPI reaction. The first move is in the books, and it's down on the ES. 18 key support and failed. Puts 4,400 as the next major, fairly decent support. Bulls will need to reclaim 18 to set standard, failed, breakdown, and rally. 4,400 fails. We see 90. So ES at the 13s, Mancini basically saying we need to get above the VWAP. VWAP at the 19 area to kind of get going there. All right, here comes open. VWAP at the 410s. How's it going, Harry Williams? Thank you. I did not invent it. That is something that we just use. We found just like anybody else and just did the back test on it. I like the 15-minute strategy, too. If you didn't see the 5-minute strategy videos, though, Harry, those, to me, are a little better, but you have to have wider, the ability to take some drawdown there on those. All right, over 400 here, we probably see the 10s. Just kind of watching. We might participate. All right, see if we get a quick push into the VWAP here. Should be able to get this push into the VWAP. Come on. Let's go here. Not trying not to go. I probably don't have the stop wide enough there. That's all right. Pulled back. It is what it is. Sellers coming in there on the WADA. We can see. ES pulling back there. Kind of thought over 400s there, we would at least run that liquidity. We still probably will. Kind of need to hold that area if it's going to sell. See the volume coming back in again. We took a loser on the first one, so we're going to just wait, be patient here. Let the ES kind of get into sync with us. ES looking a little stronger here, although it is at the lows there. 4407 there on the ES. Lows. Double bottom possible. See if this thing bounces right here. The idea here would be, if it's going to sell, you want it to push through, retest the trend line, and then sell. Kind of would be your idea there. All right, losing the 07s there on the ES. Well, down to the 0750. So bouncing here, let's see. Same idea. So if this thing sells back down here, then we may take the short. We'll see. I don't love the ES being at the lows already though. Same idea here. All right, we're going to try the same trade again. See if we get burned twice. I got that trail stop on. I don't love that thing. Stopped out there. Break even. I'm asking for punishment here, really. We're going to get this pushed through here. Let's go. Let's give it some room and let it go. Just watching the WAD. I want to see that buy volume continue to push in here. We're above the dead man, above the explosion line. Should go. ES pulling back, though. I don't love that. Come on. Don't love that. We said we were going to try to be patient here. So we're going to give this thing some room here. If we break the trend line here, lose it, then we'll just get out of it. Gonna give it a minute. As long as we hold the 77 there, I feel okay about it, but all right, we're going to take it off there. I don't love the look of this. So much for being patient. We just jump right in. Sometimes is what we do. You never work with futures brokers. Is there no spread? Not really. A tick or two. One tick. Do have to pivot down there at the 50. This thing's just chopping around here. It done chopped me up already this morning. I really should stay out of it, but, you know, we're not going to do that. We'll take and we'll throw a little more against the wall here, see what sticks. All right, let's see here. Kind of want to see this thing take out that sell side there, but I'm going to turn that stupid trail stop off. There you go. Burned in both directions, most likely here. Not sure why I'm pushing buttons here. Really doesn't make that much sense to. That's what we're doing for some reason. Huh. Just kill this in both directions there. So it ran the 08, which is what we were waiting for. This is what happened to me the other day. I was like, pretty sure it was going to run a certain area, and I kept entering, and it just chopped me. And then it ends up doing what you expect it to do. Instead of just being patient and letting the ES and the Nasdaq kind of get in sync together, if you will. So we're going to put that account away, not playing with that one anymore. Down $1,800 on it, so. It's going to stay out of this. Not going to be pressing the buttons there. The idea this morning was really not to do anything crazy, and I started out just pressing buttons there for no reason. We know better than that. So the ES is hanging out there at the 09s. Nasdaq trying to push above the VWAP here. VWAP right there at the 10s, 7, 8 area. So ES pulling back down to the 08s. ES just unable to get going here. Nasdaq looking a little bit stronger. Just got to get going here if it's going to do it. Just got to get going. ES just looking really weak. Very weak. Trying to push. Thinking of a long here, but ES looking too weak. Just trying to be patient, watching the Wado. Chopping around. So kind of the idea here, maybe we get a little breakout back above that VWAP and we get this push into the 20s. We get above 20s there, we might can see the 35, 40 area potentially. Kind of get some consolidation here. ES is still just not showing strength yet. Sellers coming through here. ES down to the 06. We lose that 90, we probably come down here to the 70 area. See if we can't push down in here into the 70 area. Let me turn that stupid trail stop off. I don't like that thing. Just took a small winner there on this account. Got about 4 minutes left on this opening range. One minute left on the opening range. So kind of retesting this trend line. Never really, it pushed through there, but not really getting a whole lot of follow through per se this morning. So just watching the WADA. If the sellers come back in here, you guys know we'll participate. Don't. All right, we're going to see if we can get this move down here into the 70s once again. WADA looking good. Come on. WADA's looking good for a move down here. So I want this thing to just push right through here. And kind of trail this down, use my stop as my take profit. Come on, keep going. You got more. Come on. All right, stopped out there. Guess we got 76. Yeah, we got like 7-8 points on that one. So we're up 460 now on that account. Probably could have managed that a little better. WADA still looking like I still should be short. Remember on the WADA here, if no candle closes below this explosion line, you really should just still be short. But because of what happened first thing this morning, I kind of a little gun shy there. Let's go ahead and mark out the 15-minute range here. Let's clean this chart up a little bit. Actually, we'll just switch over to the other chart because that's the 15-minute range one anyway. So that's your high so far. Let's mark out our low so far. We're right there. So if you're just joining us or if you're new to the 15-minute breakout, we're going to mark out the high and the low of the first 15 minutes of the open of the day, 9:30 to 9:45. Then we're going to take 2 contracts, long or short, depending upon which side it takes first. We've got about 1 minute left here before the range is solidified. You can see that pivot point down there at the 50. We ran that liquidity there at the 72 area. Now we're pushing back up here pretty strong. About 1 minute left on this 15-minute range, and then we will participate. Nasdaq kind of all over the place this morning, to be honest. Chopped me up pretty good on that one account so far. Fairly slow action in ES for a CPI day and slowest in several months. 4418 was key support today and failed, putting 4400 in play. We're arriving there now. Decent support. Bulls want a fast reaction here. Failure sees 4390 at a minimum. 78 and 80 will be in play. 18 must reclaim to put the low in, set the low for the day. ES is down at 4402. Only thing I don't love here is if we sell through 60s here, we'll be taking 66. You got the pivot down there at the 50. So you got the pivot at the 50. So that would not give us the 20 handles to lock in profit. I don't love that setup, but we'll take it. I mean, it's a mechanical strategy, so we will take it. So if we're short from 56, we need to see 46 before we can lock in 10 handles. And then we would need to see 36 before we can lock in 20. And we got the pivot there at the 50. So let's see if we get tagged in here. Looks like we probably will. There comes the sellers on the WADA. Sellers coming through on the WADA, about to be tagged in here. Need to get a swift move through 50, at least tap this 46 so that we can lock in some profit here. And then beyond that, we're not really caring on what happens. So far this week, we had a 15-point loser, a 38-point loser, or a 38-point winner. What is today? Thursday? I think we had 2 losers so far. I think it's 2 15 losers and 1 38 winners. So I think we're up 8 handles right now on the week, I believe. Could be wrong. You know, the memory's kind of foggy. We don't always know. We can't always remember. All right. Feels like we're going to sell. That's what it feels like. ES at the 03s right now. Low day at the 0175. Don't love that the ES is so close to the 4400 number. If we get tagged in here. Nasdaq tried to hold some strength this morning while the ES is just pulling back, selling. Failed to do so. Failed to show strength. If you guys are new here and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. We appreciate it. Harry Williams, thanks for your subscription. I did see that earlier when I was watching that news play this morning. All right, just ticked us in right there. I mean, that's not a great look. When it just ticks you in and then pulls back into the range, that's not a great look at all. Got to get these sellers to come in here and push this thing down right now. I don't see the sellers just yet. ES at the 0150. Or down to the 0250. Lows at the 0150. Might get stopped here pretty quickly. Might be a short death. Short, quick, painless death. Hanging out there at the 75s. Need the sellers to come in now. Get this thing going down. And ES tried to push through the 01s down to the 150 right now. It's going to have to push through that 4400 strong here. We're going to die. We are going to die. We're going to get tagged out. I kind of like this for a move down, but I think that I don't know if we can get through that 4400 there to give us what we need to lock in profits. We'll see on the ES. So little consolidation here. This little pop-up right here is probably going to get us. The ES popped right off that 4400 there. Back up to the 03s, 0250 area. But as long as we're not tagged out, we're still in it, right? As long as we're not tagged out, we still got a shot. ES back to the 0250s here. Kind of have the ES push through there. ES gets to selling, and then we'll go. You're into, but on a demo with 2-point spreads, hey, it's fine. Visible, do you think that there would be value in waiting for a pullback after the opening? Yeah. I've done back testing on that visible. It's very viable to wait for a pullback into the opening range and then take the short on the next break. That works pretty nicely. The problem is sometimes you don't get the pullback. So that's the reason why I want to guarantee a trade every day on this strategy. So you don't always get that pullback into the range. So that's why I just take it. I just put it at the bottom and take it no matter what. Got to push through here. Can't triple bottom. ES testing that 4400 right now. So instead of buying the low, let the low happen, wait for a pullback, and then buy the low. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, that's, that makes sense. Especially if you pair that with the WADA there. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of volume on the WADA here. There's not a whole lot of buyers or sellers, right? I mean, you see how low it is there. So this thing can be flipped in either direction right now. The problem is the ES is directly at 4,400. So that's why I don't love this. I'd like for the ES to, typically for this type of setup, you want to see the ES break the 4,400, maybe go to 97, 98, retest, and then sell lower. And then it would make it more sense to kind of participate. But being that the ES is right there at the 4,400, it's going to make this trade right here kind of difficult. But, you know, that's the thing. It's like it's a mechanical strategy, so you're not supposed to put discretion into it. I do that sometimes on the 5-minute. I do use my discretion on that one, but I really shouldn't. History has shown that I should not. But on this 15-minute, I really don't. I just take it because risk is defined. We know that we're risking 15 handles, might get stopped here. So it's a predefined risk. We know every day we're risking 15 handles. Stopped out. There we go. So stopped out on that one. I think that was, what is that? $610 loss, which we're still up on that account. I mean, we're $156,368 on this 150K account. So it's got about $3,000 more, $2,700 more to get to that. Oh, come on. To get to the funded. So maybe the 15-minute strategy or the 5-minute play will give us a better opportunity there. So you can see this thing's just rocketing back up here. The ES trade is directly down to the 4,400. Proper triple bottom there on the Nasdaq on the 1-minute chart. I mean, to be honest with you, I really probably shouldn't even been tagged in here. I mean, if we look, I'm supposed to have my entry one tick below the low. I may have made a mistake here. I mean, we did not trade below the low. This is where my entry is supposed to be, one tick below the low. So I do think I probably made a mistake there. I think I had my entry just slightly higher than it needed to be. It's kind of retested that trend line there. That would be a decent entry short if we see some sellers come in here on the WADA. Retested the 95s there. It's watching the WADA. This could just be a pullback for a push through. Although the ES is kind of pulling back. VWAP's at the 405 right now. You can see this kind of never really got that C leg, right? Well, A, B, C, I guess. Not great follow through this morning, really, to be honest. So I wouldn't participate here long just because of location. We'll be at the 90. I try not to long into the 90 or the whole number there. I expect this to sell back down. That's what I would kind of expect here. Let me move this explosion or the dead man up to where it's supposed to be. So you can see the explosion line now below the dead man here on the WADA. So does this thing push through there, or does this thing continue to go higher or sell off? It's kind of the question. ES back down to the 01s. All right, we're going to try to get this push through the lows. Push back to the bottom of that 15-minute range here. So watching the WADA here. We'll stay short as long as the WADA says to. It's trying to work its way above the explosion line there. There we go. Pretty easy read there. 10 points, 2 contracts. $860 up on that account now after starting the day in a disaster. A couple of horrible reads. Now, this might make more sense, right? The ES is pushed through the 4,400, which is what we talked about earlier. We want to kind of see a bounce back up on the ES, retest that 4,400, and then continue to push lower. But probably, I mean, I think this thing's setting up for a decent move lower there. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Mancini says if we lose the 4,400s, then we're going to lose. We'll sell down to the 90 there. And then below there, maybe the 7, what do you say, 88? 78. 78 to 80. So let's see here. I like the look of the sales here, but I'd like to see a B leg back up, and we'll take that C leg for that push through the bottom there. So now the ES is popping back up. Let's have it retest the 4,400. So it's at 98. And then we will look for a proper C leg down here and see what happens. I mean, I almost want to just take it on this account over here since I kind of blundered this earlier, because this should not have tagged us in. My entry should have been at one tick below the low. I don't know why I didn't notice that. That's the thing on Quantower. A lot of times when you put something on the chart, it'll stick to the so watch, like right here, if I drop it here, you see how it just magnets to those numbers. Same thing with the your entries and stuff. It just kind of goes right to that and sticks. So let's watch for sales to come through here on the VWAP, or the WADA. I'm talking about the VWAP. And then we'll take the short once again. I mean, I could take it on this account. It kind of, we're already down 600 on it. It would double the risk. I don't know that I should. This is the mechanical strategy account. Not quite crossed over that 10 o'clock hour yet to start looking for a gap on the 5-minute chart. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. If you're not yet subscribed, do me a favor, press subscribe. It's free. If you are interested in trading futures, we do have the discount code for APEX, Bulenox, and Topstep in the description there. 71% off APEX, 80% off Bulenox, and 60% off Topstep. So ES down to the 94s here. I'm just waiting on a proper B to C here. No sellers yet on the WADA. That's the thing. We think it's going to see 90 right on the ES there, but how's it get there? That's always the question. Does it chop around? Does it go straight to it? Not usually. We want to see it take the elevator down, as Juker likes to say. Take the stairs up and the elevator down. So no need to do anything here yet. Sellers are just not here. You see kind of the wicks on the top of these candles. Strength to the upside, kind of slow in there. But let's just see what happens here. We are about to come into the top of the hour, so expect maybe we retest this 95 one more time. So the top of the hour coming up here. Got kind of a brick wall down here at the 65 area, huh? So the ES directly retesting the 4,400 here up to the 99s. If I was a smart man, this would be a nice spot to enter, but we're going to wait. for this little pushback up. Kind of idiot box in here. Got a little range going. I am considering entering now. I'm watching the WADA. I don't like front running the WADA. I sometimes do it, but I don't like it. All right, we're going to take it. We'll see what happens. So we're going to kind of do the same thing here. 85, so if we get to 65, 66 area, we'll lock in 10 handles. If we get there. I mean, this thing could just blast right through here, right? Don't really want to take two losers on this account the same day, but WADA looking good now for a push down. ES down to the 94s. Got to get the ES to push through those lows there at the 94s here, take us down. Still watching the WADA. I don't see any green on it yet, so. Give me this 60 area so we can lock in some profit here. It's not asking for too much, is it? Come on, WADA. Let's go. Sell her down. Sales got to come through here strong now. Trying to give it time. ES pushing through the lows there. It wants to go. It's just struggling. I almost hit the flatten button there just because I see green on the WADA. I'm trying to give it a moment. Trying to give it a moment here. All right, I'm just going to take it off there, break even. Tried to get it going there. I don't know how much we were in profit. I think we were short like 86. So maybe like 10 handles, something like that. But let's see. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, I do think this thing sells, but it's kind of chopping around right now. See that buy volume coming in there on the WADA, so good idea to get out of it there. Probably a good idea. Pushed up into the 05 here. Pull back into the 95, and we can take a long. Retest 90, 95 would make sense. ES still below 4,400 there. So we didn't pull back. We pulled back. I guess we retest 97. I was looking for a little deeper for that push back into the 0810 area, but we are at the VWAP as well. So this actually still might be decent for a sell back down. All right, might run that 16, I guess. I mean, if the ES gets back above 4,400 there, then maybe we can get going. Abdul says, do you have a trading course for sale? No. We don't sell any courses. I don't sell anything, Abdul. Probably never will. We're far from a trader that you probably should be following. I mean, I think we give decent insight. We don't always follow our own insight. That's kind of the problem. We don't always follow our own insight. Approaching the 16 now as we sit here and watch. The ES is at the 4,400 directly right now. Pushing above the 4,400. Interesting. Interesting. ES trying to pump. Is this just a little push up before we sell back down? I would venture a guess is to say yes. I do not think we're going to hold this VWAP area. Now, the only thing I don't like is this is leaving a gap on the 5-minute. So I may not like it, but we will take it. So let's switch you guys over off the 15-minute here. And let's switch you over to our 5-minute play. So this is our live account. We will be taking this on a live account as well as a Topstep 150K challenge account. So this thing broke out the top side there, didn't it? Broke out the top side. ES pulling back into the 4,400 area. Really got to hold that 4,400 area if it wants to go. If it wants to go. If the buyers come in here, we may participate long. Let's see. Got the pivot up at the 46 and the high of day kind of in that area also. Maybe where it's wanting to go to. ES holding the 4,400 there so far. This thing's pushing up really on no buyers here. So I broke out the top side of that 15-minute range there. Technically, that's the one that it took. It never really took the bottom side. Unfortunately, we did take the short. Kind of made a mistake there. So we are getting a pullback here. ES losing that 4,400 level now. Or at least testing it. Hasn't lost it yet. Sellers pushing through here. Looks like they're probably going to be leaving that gap open. That is on the 10 a.m. candle there. So this candle closes in 5 seconds. All right, so the gap is left open. Let's figure out what our risk to reward is going to be here. So 66 to 97. What is that, 29? No, 31. So we need 62 handles. So 99.59 would be the take profit. think this thing wants that 40, that pivot point area, at least. So I did take a long over here, off stream. Stops at break even, can't lose. Let's see. Never mind. Just got stopped out. Stopped out. All right, so you guys do the math with me. 97 to 66 is 31. So 62 points. Is that right? Yeah, so 59. So we have the same setup over here on the Topstep account. Yeah. Guess I need to put it on the 5-minute. All right, so it ran that 46 area, ran the highs. I mean, if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm not in love with this setup at all. Now, I would have liked it had we not run the highs there. We pulled back into the gap first, I would have liked the setup a little more, but nonetheless, we'll take it. So we are using 2 micros here. This is a cash account. Kind of show you guys. So the balance currently $37.97. We started with 4,000. We just took our first trade on this yesterday, so. And then we got the Topstep account up here that we'll take the same entry on. So I guess I could have held that there. I moved the stop to break even just because felt kind of like I was chasing it. And to be honest with you guys, now I'm looking at this. This took the top side of the range at 1650, and we just traded all the way up to 60. That's your 38 handles right there. Oh, I should have taken the break for the top side. I didn't even think about it. So, it is what it is. What can you do? All right. So we're up 860 over here on this other account that we're trading. Of course, we're down like 1,800 on that one that we fumbled around with this morning. And then the one that we're taking the breakout on, we're down 585. I took a small scalp on that account. See, I don't love when this happens, when it runs to your target and then pulls back, tags you in. This is not my favorite type of setup here, but not very high risk here. If we're only risking 31 handles, so 600. So we're risking $620 for 1,240 on the Topstep account, and here we're risking $4 a point. So it's like what, $125 for 250, something like that. 2-to-1 risk to reward here on this. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. If you're not yet subscribed, please press that subscribe button. Helps the channel out. Yeah, I feel that makes me mad right there that I got tagged in short when I should not have been, really. And then, yeah. There you go. So let's see if we do get tagged in here on the 5-minute strategy. So Mancini did say that the Bulls want fast reaction at that 4,400 level. I'm going to say we got it. I mean, we did push through there, but now you kind of want to see it hold that 4,400 level. If it doesn't, we probably sell back through the lows there. You can see on the WADA, sellers coming through here. I do like the setup for a 3-minute play. you know, if you're looking for the kind of if you're looking for kind of that silver bullet setup there, we ran the liquidity. We ran the lows this morning. Ran that liquidity down at the 65s. Now we had a market structure shift to the upside. So this actually does look decent for the run back to the upside. Selling off hard here. Looks decent enough, I'd say. I don't know. Woo! What a sell. $97 looks like where we're probably, it probably is where we're going to. There's an order block just below there on the 1 minute chart. So you'd want to see it kind of hold that order block, hold that 85 area. We may not even get back to the 97s. You can see we're kind of bouncing out of this first gap here. We always take the first gap that's formed. There's a small order block on the 1 minute chart right here where we're at. There's also an up close candle on the 1 minute chart, that same area from that push up before. Bouncing up right here in this area. ES down to the 4401s, pushing back up into the 0250, 03 area. Also bouncing off the top of that 15-minute range, 16 area. Would expect the sellers to come back in here and push this, continue to push this thing down here. If they do, we will participate. Well, I'm curious if this thing's actually going to sell down or if it's just going to continue to push here. I mean, I feel like it's going to at least retest that whole number one more time. That's what I feel like, but who really knows? That's what we feel like. Oh, come on. What the heck are you doing? What happened? I do not understand what happened right there. That makes no sense. I was taking the short here. I was trying to move my stop, and it did not drop the stop, and I accidentally moved it up above price. And I guess it took me off at the current price. You know, what the heck? I had two contracts on. Now I only got one. Just looking for this push down into the 10. I don't know. I'm just going to take it off there. That frustrates me. frustrates me there. This thing's going to probably sell down here. The WADA doesn't really, not showing me any sellers yet, but maybe we re-enter. That just kind of flustered me there a little bit. Like, what happened? I was trying to move one of my take profits lower. Looks like that cost me $40. $40. I mean, this thing may not make it back to the 97s to tag us in, right? It might not. So getting a little pushback up here on the 3-minute chart. Did leave a bearish fair value gap there. I mean, I don't know. I was kind of thinking we get this sell down, but I guess it could kind of go either way. Buyers coming in here, pushing this thing back up into the 40. ES held the 4,400 there. It's pushing off that area. Is this thing just kind of creating this little chop going on? It's going to chop it back up and then sell, or is it just going to create an idiot box on us and just stay there? Still got the pivot up there at the 46. Testing that now. Through the pivot, this thing probably sees 60 again. Well, over 52, I guess. It's kind of the line in the sand. Over 52, we just make new highs. If it holds below the pivot here, then it can sell back down, but that is the question. Pulling back here, failing to get above the pivot. No sellers to speak of yet, though. I'm going to retest that pivot now. So I'm going to go ahead and take the short here because it's a relatively small risk. We're short from 38, stops at 52. And, I mean, we could really target that 18 area here. I think we at least see that area pretty quickly. Need these sellers to come on in here, continue to push down. Just watching the WADA here. So currently short. Stop is already in profit. So if we get stops, not a big deal. 4 handles in profit, actually, 5. So locking in $100 on one contract here. But looking to get this pushed down into the 18s if we can. Might get stopped. Stops at 33. Yeah, stopped us. That's all right. So up 920 on that account. That was a pretty easy read. As we failed to kind of get above that pivot there. This thing's probably going to sell down further, guys. The water really didn't tell me to move the stop. I mean, as long as we don't see any green there, there's no real reason to move the stop or do anything. Now, the explosion line is kind of at the dead man there, which is a bit scary. But if you're looking at this, this should be your C leg down, right? This is your A leg down, kind of a choppy B leg, and then B to C should take us lower. So we should see the 17s here, 18 area on this push down, I would think. Now we're starting to see a little green down here, so maybe there's just not as much follow through as we expect there to be. I would like to have been tagged in already on the 5-minute strategy and either be dead or alive on it, to be honest. That's what we would have liked to have been done, but not yet. If you guys are interested in purchasing a tumbler from a small business, this is my girlfriend's business. She makes tumblers. Link in the description to her website for this. This is her on TikTok if you want to give her a follow. So she makes all kind of different custom tumblers. You know, whatever you want. Guess this is the website. Antisocial Moms Club. There's probably a lot of you antisocial moms in here, huh? What do you think? Antisocial moms. But check it out. This is some of the stuff she's doing. They're not that expensive either. It's really based on the size of the tumbler. Somewhere between $30 and $40, $45, I think, for some. Maybe 40. Anyways, off to the moon here. I mean, look at this thing go. Oh, I thought I moved that already. What happened? Back up into the 60s. Man, this thing just took off. We weren't even paying attention. The ES at the VWAP right there at the 11s right now. I don't think I'm going to get tagged in on this long, and even if I do, I don't like it. I don't like it. We may not take this, we may just, I can't leave this on the book. I don't have any way of closing it out if we don't get tagged in. So I guess technically I could leave it. And, yeah, I don't know. Probably going to leave here in a couple of minutes, guys. And I don't know if, I can't really leave this up for you guys to watch it because I'm not going to be home all weekend. So we don't get tagged in here soon. Well, that is one heck of a dump right there. Look at that thing. Rejected the VWAP there and just dumpy. All right, let's see here. Little push back up here. Just a little push. That's just probably enough. Is that enough for me to participate? To partake? VWAP down there at the 08s. I think she wants the VWAP touch. So I'm taking the short here. Stop down on one contract. Trying to get the 08s on the second. Got me on both. That's all right. So up $1,100 on that one. Just trying to take that short into the VWAP there. So this is the account. We're up 1105 on that one. It's the one we were trading for second this morning. The first one we're down $1,800, I think. Let me check and see what it was exactly. No, I'm wrong. we're down $2,300. And then on the 15-minute breakout, breakdown, down 585. Took a scalp on that one. A scalpy. But the 15-minute break would have worked this morning. I think I just, inadvertently put the entry one tick higher than I should have. And here we are. I mean, it's not much I can do about it. Can't change it at this point, right? The question is, do we leave this order on the books and just let it play out? I could, I'll have access to Wi-Fi at 4 p.m., so just after close, we will be having access to Wi-Fi at that point. Although, I think I can manage the Trade-Evate cash account. I can manage that one from the app. So I could leave, I don't know, I could leave it on here and just see what happens. So we got a little pushback up there. And we're not that far from getting tagged in, but I feel like, I don't know that we're going to make another run to this area. Can I take, I don't know if I can I manage my live remotely? I don't know if I can. Let's see. Never looked at it. Okay, I can. All right, so maybe I do leave the stream up then. So it looks like I can manage the stream. So we'll leave it up so you guys can watch it. So I'm going to leave this up so you guys can watch what happens. We'll leave the WADA on here. So this is the idea. Obviously, we'll either be getting full profit or nothing, because I won't be here to move the stop. But that's okay. So I'm going to kill the camera and kill the mic, but I'll leave this up for you guys to watch, and we'll chime in from the road. So I appreciate you guys watching. Once again, just keep a watch out on this for me, and close it out if you think we should close it out, guys. Do what you think is best. Obviously a joke. But we'll be in the chat. Camera is now off. Yeah, thank you, Predator. Well, you guys keep a watch here, and let's see what happens. All right, guys. Looks like we got a field there. So heading out now. Heading out now. So we will see you guys live again tomorrow. So we're up $124 on this account, or two. I was like about to say it should be more than that. 244. So that puts us up on the cash account now at, started with 4,000. We're at 4,024, and then over here, Topstep. Topstep account, $1,235 on that one. Trying to drag it down further so you guys can see the. There's the value, 155. So good to go. We will see you guys live again tomorrow, 9:50.